Hey YouTube, I thought I'd try and show you the differences between a Kawasaki Super Sherpa and Kawasaki Stockman. Two bikes that are very near identical in many ways, however, not quite the same. The bike on the right is the Kawasaki Super Sherpa. It's a 1999 edition Kawasaki Super Sherpa, and the one on the left is a Kawasaki Stockman, a 2003 model Kawasaki Stockman. Both are fairly near stock and fairly near complete, so I'm just about to take some bits off the Stockman, put them onto the Sherpa, and add some other modifications to the Sherpa. So before I do that, I thought it'd be a good time to see what they are like as they are. I couldn't find this information on the internet, and I thought it might be interesting to somebody else who was interested. So a little bit about the bikes, the Kawasaki Super Sherpa and Stockman. I don't know if they actually came out in the same year or not, but I believe it was designed as the agricultural bike first, and then sort of made into a road trail bike version as well. So the agricultural version, the Stockman, in Australia at least, can't be road registered. I don't know if it's actually available anywhere but Australia, the Stockman, but certainly it's quite available in Australia. You can still buy these new today. You cannot buy the Super Sherpa in Australia new today. I don't believe it's a current model from Kawasaki anywhere in the world anymore. I could be wrong. But yeah, I can go into any Kawasaki shop here and they've usually got a Stockman. It's quite easy to get parts for the Stockman, which in turn makes it quite easy to get most of the important parts for the Super Sherpa. They're very available as a agricultural bike. You know, they're a farm tool. People need them working. Parts availability is pretty good. It's pretty impressive for a dirt bike, particularly one that comes across like an older dirt bike. You know, you can get the parts, no fuss. And the parts haven't changed. If you get a brand new Stockman today, as far as I can tell, every bit is still the same as the one I've got here. So the differences, let's talk about some of those. Obvious difference you can see is big rack on the back of the Stockman. There should also be a rack on the front of the Stockman. I didn't get the front rack with my one. The front rack goes over the headlight plastics there, over the sort of number plate plastic area, windshield area, whatever you want to call that bit at the top, the black bit. And it's a pretty impressive little rack on the front, to be honest. It's got a little spring-loaded thing in a nice flat platform. Looks, the same sort of style bar work as the rack on the back. And that rack on the back's awesome as well. It's a really nice big wide rack. I've got it loose at the moment. You can see it attaches right over the back light. It actually has a bar right across the middle of that back light, which might be something I don't like for road registration. But anyway, it doesn't come on the road registrable one, it comes on the agricultural one. So you get both the racks on the agricultural one, makes it a bit different. This side stand's a bit different. It's got a bigger foot on the agricultural version than on the regular Super Sherpa. And the other party trick it's got is, as an ag bike, you can get this stand and you can just push it over, because you get an extra stand on the other side, which is awesome. And I wish it was on the Super Sherpa. One day it will be. I would just take it off. It's only bolted on this stand to the swing arm, but the swing arm itself has a plate welded on, a threaded hole that's made a bit bigger, and the Super Sherpa swing arm does not have that. However, apart from that, I believe those swing arms are identical, so I do plan to swap that over at some point. Other differences we have: Stockman comes with the Barkbuster handguards, and the handlebar itself has metal protrusions welded onto it that join up to this bark buster handguard. The Super Sherpa I have, these are aftermarket. This is probably the only modification on the bike actually, is these bark busters here. Oh, there's different mirrors than it came with, but and these ones, like most regular ones, you know, have a clamp-on style mount. So there's a bit of a difference there. You've got mounting points for blinkers on the Super Sherpa that you don't have anywhere on the Stockman. On the Stockman we have different plastics and a different light on the headlight, and I don't know, that could be a year model difference because this is a 1999 model and this is a 2003, but I don't know if that's true. It might quite definitely have something to do with the light being set up for a driving light rather than just any old light for out on the farm. You've got all the switches and wiring for having blinkers, and you've got a lights switch. This one's broken, it usually has a red button cap on there, but the light switch, you know, just operates lights on and off, which you don't get on the Super Sherpa, because to be road legal here, your lights have to turn on when you turn the bike on and stay on. So yeah, they don't give you a switch that lets you turn the lights on and off. This is a little mount here clipped onto the top of the, you know, suspension triple clamp set up there, and that's for the rack, the front rack. The one on the other side incorporates the choke, which isn't really a choke on these bikes, but I might explain that later. Incorporates that. Sorry, that's not focusing very well. Yeah, incorporates that front rack mount into the choke cable mount, where on the Super Sherpa we don't have any front rack mount, obviously, and we do have a choke cable mount, but that choke cable mount doesn't have any front rack connections on it. Another agricultural thing that's quite common is your clutch has a lock on it, so the clutch isn't quite operating properly. This is a bit of a parts bike now. Clutch isn't quite operating properly here, but you squeeze it in, squeeze it out, you know, it just works like a normal one. However, if you squeeze it in, flick this up, it now holds your clutch in. That means you can jump off your bike while it's running in gear and open the farm gate, and then you can roll a couple of steps through it. You just take this off, which again is not working quite properly at the moment. Usually it's quite simple. Anyway, you take that off, you roll through, and then you clutch it on, close the gate, unlock it, and keep rolling off. So yeah, it's a nice handy farm mod addition, and something I did use a couple of times, but I might not move that one onto the Sherpa. You get some extra mud guards on this Stockman as well. So you've got the mud guards. Oh, you also get these little cable holders, you know, for your brake line and speed sensor cable. So that's sort of nice. I like those. I might even move them onto the other one if I can. Might just have to screw them on myself. And I quite like the little mud guards, so I'd like to move that over too. These have just got the plain plastic. Some of the Super Sherpas I've seen, they might have all been overseas ones, I don't know, have a low mud guard at the front. So the guard is mounted down here, you know, and stays over the top of the wheel, which I'm sure is lovely for people who don't live on clay, dirt, mud. But for me, a nice high guard is good. We've got this extra addition on the back plastic here. Obviously that's a bit of a number plate mounting spot. On the rear of the Stockman, we've got this nice big rubber guard that comes off here. So I think I might do the same. The actual plastic here is a bit different, so I might take this under fender cover plastic, whatever it's called, and move it over here. Give that all a change. You get pillion passenger pegs on the Super Sherpa. Don't get them on the Stockman. No point. You do get these, or at least one of them. I don't know if that one's missing or if it's not there. I don't even know what that is, to be quite honest. But I like it. It looks to me like I could use it as a convenient tie-down point for chucking a bike on a rack or something. So that's pretty much it, I think. I can't think of any other differences. The dash is the same. Yeah, I think everything else is the same. So, there was a slight difference. The mirror threads were different for some reason. These were 10mm thread hole. It does have a mirror mount on the clutch, and it was a 10mm thread hole. And these ones had 8mm thread holes, which made a difference when I went to put mirrors on there. I had to get little adapters. But I think that's it, folks, as far as all the important things that are different about a Kawasaki Stockman to a Kawasaki Super Sherpa. Yeah, apart from that, the engine is all the same. The rims are the same. The suspension's the same. The frame's the same. Like, everything is the same, really. The plastics have some slight differences, but I can pull the side covers off that one and they fit on that one. I can pull the tail plastic off and it will fit on that one. You know, they've just got some slight moulding differences. But that's really about it. They've both got these tiny little plastic tube toolboxes that are hopeless. But anyway, I'll leave that for the modifications video. If anyone's interested in this, I'll put up a video of the modifications I do to the Super Sherpa. Just some stuff I'm trying to do to make it more of an adventure bike, go away. Add some storage to it, add a dual battery to it, add a nice big light to the front of it, that sort of thing. Anyway, hope this was useful to someone. Bye.